So just a quick word of warning, the new apartment that I'm in is right next to the street and you can hear a lot of cars, a lot of bikers, a lot of drunk people just pass right by, so if the audio is a little bit wonky, I apologize ahead of time. I cannot overstate how annoyed I am by the fact that one of my first videos, a shoddy little review of the 1966 Batman movie, Batman the Movie as I'll call it, is one of my most popular videos. Dear people, please stop watching that video. It's amateur garbage. But if you really want to know my thoughts on this particular movie, then I'll just talk about it again. And why not? There are great movies like King of Comedy and Irishman, and there are great movies like Batman the Movie. Sign me up, I want to talk about them. Batman the Movie is officially the first Batman movie, the first DC movie, and the first feature-length superhero movie to ever be theatrically released, not counting serials. The story follows Batman and Robin as they try to stop the Joker, the Penguin, the Riddler, and Catwoman from taking over the world by kidnapping the members of the UN Security Council, and along the way there are exploding sharks, a penguin submarine, there's a great scene involving Batman trying to get rid of a bomb.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
And those fight scenes with the bow, zip, boom.
Ping, pow, zoom, zoom.
It's a continuation of the TV series that actually premiered only about 7 months before this movie. Apparently, the producer William Dozer wanted to do the movie before the show, but Warner Brothers decided to do the show's first season instead because it would cost less money. So I guess this was made immediately after the successful first few episodes. I have no idea how long it took them to make this. It was probably crazy fast, like in the span of those 7 months. That's just a guess though, but television people work fast, you know? On its own, the movie is kind of average, but I love to watch it. It's so much fun. I just love how the movie fully embraces its campiness. There's even a nice acknowledgement at the beginning that's actually really touching. I think that movies which embrace their campiness are inherently more charming and likable than something that takes itself too seriously like Extraction. You can tell that everyone involved in this is just having a blast, especially the actors playing the villains. My favorite aspect about this version of the Joker is that the actor playing him, Cesar Romero, didn't want to shave his mustache for the role, so it's almost completely visible in the makeup. It actually makes this Joker a lot more funny. Yeah, some effects look cheap, but they're not incompetent, and it adds a lot to the nostalgic value of the whole thing. It makes the entire experience much more enjoyable, and the film itself much more worthy of recognition. If you've never seen this before, I made a statement that the best way to look at this version of Batman is as a loving parody, and that really is the best way you can watch it, because this version of Batman is so far removed from what we know as Batman today. He's more like Inspector Gadget than Batman.
Fortunately, I was able to dispose of that bomb in the nick of time and shield myself behind these heavy iron pipes.
It's a product of its time. A time when studios really weren't willing to lean into the darker aspects of a comic book character. God, I sound like a nerd. Scorsese's gonna hate me for that. But of course, that leads to a complaint I have with this movie, which is the weird ending. It almost completely changes its tone and becomes a message about how people need to live together in peace. This was made during the Cold War, and under that context, I can forgive it and completely understand wanting to leave the audience with something. But, you know, when I'm being an asshole who just wants to be entertained by dumb stuff, I'm like, why aren't you being fun right now? You're supposed to be fun. I'm probably just a giant hypocrite though, so feel free to ignore what I'm saying right now. If I had to compare this movie to others, I would say it's the same type of experience you get out of seeing something like Rocky Horror Picture Show or Killer Clowns from Outer Space, where the entertainment value mainly comes from the tongue-in-cheek personality rather than superficial qualities like character arcs or intricate plots. Whenever I watch those movies, I just feel really happy and on board for the ride, and this Batman movie is no different. Is it the best Batman movie? Of course not by a long shot, but it's worth checking out, and at the end of the day, it's a classic.